And for just a brief moment before we came on the air, this Orange Bowl was eerily silent. They love this Dolphin football team.
It won't be silent all night.
Oh, it'll be loud. We're underway from the Orange Bowl in Miami. The Cowboys and the Dolphins. And Von Schamann, with a prevailing wind blowing from the open end of the end zone, carries it into the end zone, touchback, and Danny White will lead the offensive unit out. Those are his numbers. He did not play in the first 5 games. Replaced an injured Gary Hogaboom and pulled out of New Orleans game 8 weeks ago. Started the next week and beat Indianapolis. Injured his shoulder in the Giants game 6 weeks ago. He missed the next 2 starts, and then he has been the starter since the loss to Buffalo 3 weeks ago. There is the offensive line. None of those offensive linemen will be in the Pro Bowl. That is highly unusual for the Cowboys. First and 10 to the 20-yard line. Tony Dorsett, single setback. Over 1,100 yards on the season. He'll try it first on the left side. And he skips out over the 25-yard line to the 26 for a gain of about 6. It'll be second down and 4 as we look at the defense. The question mark, Bob Baumauer in the middle. Very sore ankle. The linebackers, we weren't altogether sure that Charles Bowser on the outside could go. We'll probably see a lot of Ernie Roan tonight. Don McNeil, healthy once again after missing all of last year, most of this year. He's over in the left corner for the Dolphins. He's an added plus. Second down and 4. We'll see a lot of wide receivers. Number 82, Mike Renfro. Number 83, Doug Donnelly. They will alternate much of the evening. And, of course, Timmy Newsom, the starting fullback as of 3 weeks ago. He wears number 30. He'll be in there with Dorsett. On second and 4, Tony Hill. Dallas first down out of the 35 to the 37-yard line. And, Don, if they are going to get the big play, Dallas, they are going to look to this man.
They should, and they will, I think. Frank, you're going to see Dallas, I think, kind of pull out all the stops. It's pretty easy to say that. That's a pattern that's been in their offense for a number of years, but you're going to see them throw in so many different sets. They feel that both offensively and defensively, what they've really got to do is mix it up, throw everything at them, and go for it.
Miami rated 13th in the AFC against the run, 5th against the pass. Their defense has shown many signs of weaknesses over the past few weeks. On first and 10, Danny White back. Fires behind Tony Dorsett. Incomplete. It'll be second down and 10. Pressure is coming from Kim Bocamper. O.J., your thoughts on what this young man must do?
I feel Tony must have a good game today. As you know, they want to have ball control. They want to keep this Miami high-powered offense off the football field. And normally, if Tony has a good day, the Cowboys win.
His longest run from scrimmage, hard to believe, 31 yards for Tony Dorsett. He's had only 2 100-yard games against Philadelphia and Indianapolis. The Cowboys have changed that offensive line almost weekly because of injuries. Second down and 10. Dorsett follows Newsom over the left side, and he's out over the 40-yard line. He'll get about 3. It'll be third down and 7, long yardage passing down for Danny White coming up.
The thing that we saw on that pass play before, we were talking about Joe Montana throwing that one so well a week ago, or it seemed like a week ago, Friday. That ball was just thrown behind, and had Tony been able to catch that one, he'd have picked up a good 5 or 6 yards.
The receivers for Dallas. The tight end, Doug Cosby, is the leading receiver. That's strange. Dallas has never had a leading receiver that's been a tight end. Tony Hill has 52. Doug Cosby has 55. From the shotgun, White has the time, overthrows his intended receiver out of the backfield, Newsom. And Dallas will punt, and the partisan crowd that will make a tremendous amount of noise tonight already being heard from. Danny White stays on to do the punting. Bolton Walker will drop for Miami. Fine return man. Remember him in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, setting Super Bowl records for kickoff returns. Danny White averaging a little over 38 yards. Cowboys lead the league in having to punt.
Dallas would really like to keep that ball in this first quarter going that way. The wind's going to be in Miami's favor. Kicking into the wind, good kick.
Good kick by Danny White into a strong wind. Bolton Walker had to make the fair catch, and that was a tremendous boot by Danny White into that gale. Carried inside the 15-yard line and forced the fair catch by Bolton Walker. Opening moments from the Orange Bowl. Miami, their first possession, the ball inside their 15-yard line. Sellout crowd of 75,000 plus on hand tonight. Tony Nathan, very versatile single setback now for the Dolphins. And, of course, the great Dan Marino at quarterback. Hardy in motion. And Marino gets the shot off, and it's complete. It goes to Mark Duper, but Marino was really popped. And what Don mentioned before, you get the feeling the Cowboys are going to come with all kinds of blitzes. But Duper gets the first down out near the 40-yard line.
They're going to throw everything, but that puts the pressure on these guys back in the backside because Duper and Clayton are just so good. They've got great hands. You'll notice that most of the time, these guys can look at that hit on, who was that? Is that Hickman?
Mike Hickman.
Yeah, that's Hickman that came through there.
First down Miami, 40-yard line. Woody Bennett now at setback. The leading rusher for the Dolphins, wearing number 34. They'll try him over the left side. He's upended, crawls for about 3. Second and 7. Let's meet the offense of the Dolphins. So familiar now. This young man, all kinds of records. He's already set a touchdown single season record of 44. We mentioned that. 59 yards he needs to break Dan Fouts' NFL record for yards in this season. He can, with 256 yards, go over 5,000. No one has ever done that. There is an offensive line. 3 Pro Bowlers in the middle. 2 Pro Bowlers and an alternate in Roy Foster. And 2 Pro Bowl wide receivers, number 85, Duper, number 83, Mark Clayton. 23 touchdowns between them.
They give him a different look there.
Second and 7. And they got it away by Ed Too Tall Jones. And he has knocked so many of them away.
I think that's 17 or something this year, Frank. That's a career high for him, but they're going for the ball tonight. This is
7 in the last 5 games for Ed Jones. And we'll look at the defensive unit. It starts out with a 4-3. We'll probably see a 4-0 now. That means all the linebackers come out. Thurman, Bates, Albritton come in. Smerrick comes in for Dutton. And Bates and Klingscale move up as linebackers. They're hard-hitting defensive backs. 3rd and 7. 3 wide receivers in. Cephalo joins Duper and Clayton. At the 43-yard line, 3rd and 7 from the shotgun, Miami.
Look at Bates up there in that linebacker position. He's got his...
Marino, wide open field. Still looking for the big one. A little bit of bumping against Matt Moore. No flags. Marino could have perhaps run 15 yards had he so wished. And perhaps Don Shula just as happy he didn't. But we'll see Reggie Roby, the punting unit, comes out for the Miami Dolphins. Don Shula, only 1 losing season in 22 years as a head coach. That is truly remarkable.
It's funny, the Cowboy realizes that on 3rd down, the Dolphins like to go to Nat Moore, their slot back. They had him covered one-on-one by Everson Walls, and Everson had excellent position on him on that pass. He was never open.
Reggie Roby with the prevailing wind. They put it over in the West Coast. The man can kick. Big second-year man out of Iowa, 6'3", 235. He puts it up high. He'll be going to the Pro Bowl in Hawaii as the punter. That time, just end over end, and he gets a lot out of it. Fair catch called for, executed. Gary Allen and Dallas will have their second possession. They'll be near their 13-yard line when we return. 45-yard effort by Reggie Roby, high enough to force the fair catch by Gary Allen. That could explain why he has batted away 48 passes over the past 4 years, and he just got a key one a few moments ago against Marino.
That was his 15th for the season, which is an all-time high for him for 1 year.
The Cowboys, second possession, just out over their 12-yard line, first down and 10. Dorsett drops into the eye behind Timmy Newsom. Newsom, left side, and the big man with the superb moves and speed gets out to the 19-yard line, picking up almost 7 yards before he's upended by Bowser.
Everybody seems to come in with a kind of a similar philosophy. They play Miami. We've talked about these statistics before. They try to run on them because they're way down in the league standing as far as defending against the run. But the reason is they're always so far ahead of everybody. They got to pass.
But that doesn't make sense either. I'll tell you why in a minute.
All right.
Second down and 3. Dorsett gets a block by Newsom, but closing out there quickly was Bowser to make the stop just about the line of scrimmage. So it will be 3rd and a long 2.
It's surprising that the Dolphins are so rated so low against stopping the run. They're rated 23rd in the league. When you consider that they're ahead so early in football games, you would think that their opponent would be forced to throw the ball to catch up. It's surprising to find out that they have been unable to stop teams from running.
The last 4 games, the Dolphins have given up 537 yards to San Diego, over 400 to the Jets, over 400 to the Raiders. So defensively, they're troubled. Third down, short yardage. Danny White is back. Wide open, and bobbling the ball and then collecting the ball was Timmy Newsome, a fine receiver, even as bulky as he is. 6'2" and 232 pounds. A year ago, in an overtime game, he pulled it out with a 52-yard touchdown run that brought that game to overtime. He's good out of that backfield.
I thought this was even tipped right here early, but it just, nope. There it was bobbled right there.
Well, you know, the ball is really waffling down there. There's a lot of wind up here, I guess, since the beginning of the game. It's really blowing around down there. And, of course, Marino, with the stronger arm, will have less problems throwing the ball and cutting the wind.
He cuts right through that wind.
Dallas, first down, just inside their 28-yard line. Dorsett slipped, regained his balance, and gets over the 30-yard line to the 31, gain of 3. It'll bring up second down and 7. That offensive line has changed 8 different times for the Cowboys. They have lost their 2 starting tackles to injured reserve, Howard Richards, Jim Cooper, and where that really impacts on an offensive team is the running game. Not so much the passing game, because guards can move to tackles, tackles can move to guards, and they can block. But it makes a difference in the running game.
That's average almost 5 yards a run against the Dolphins. That's not like the old great Bill Arnsberger coached Dolphin defenses.
Second down, 7. Against receiver Mike Renfro was there by William Judson, and he dumps it into the ground. It'll be third down and long.
You see a little bit of that on Danny Arm's right arm. Kind of an unusual route. Frank, you got the right terminology for it, but he had his arm drained, his elbow drained last week after the game. It's a little like a...
It's a synovial sac.
See there?
It fills with fluid. It really is not painful. I played one entire year with it.
Yeah, but you were a very tough person.
Not painful until they stick that needle in there.
Yeah, the needle is much more painful than the damage itself. Third down, 7, no score. 9 minutes remaining in the first quarter from the shotgun. White looking for Hill, overthrows. Defensive coverage by Don McNeil, but again, I think that was just the wind that had the impact on that ball. Danny White is not the strong-arm quarterback, not the strong arm, at least, of Dan Marino, and it's going to work heavily against him as he moves into the wind. Holden Walker dropping on 4th down. Neither team has been spectacular in their return units on kickoffs or punts this year, but you know this man is dangerous. Danny White, his first punt, he got off the beauty into that strong wind. This time off the side of his foot, and heads-up play up front. It was a good play by Glenn Blackwood. Wisely saw that he would have to handle the ball. He made the fair catch, did not allow the bounce, and the Dolphins have good field position at their own 37.
I see you enjoy the finer things in life.
Why, yes.
Then you'll enjoy today's Chevrolet Celebrity Eurosport.
Come on in, get the feel. Enjoyment waits at the wheel as the road comes alive.
Special sport suspension, Euro styling. Available new multi-port fuel-injected V6 power. Celebrity Eurosport.
If this is today's Chevrolet,
Enjoy.
Drive today Chevy with today Chevy.
Live it.
Chevy.
if Bill lives in Bighorn, Wyoming,
Howdy.
and Stan lives in Rockland, Maine,
Hey there.
and Jane lives in Calhoun, Georgia,
Charmed, I'm sure.
how much will it cost Fred to call all of them? $10 for an hour of calls.
Sounds good.
AT&T's Reach Out America plan. An hour of long-distance calls anywhere in the U.S. for $10 a month. Additional hours are even less.
Now you know just how far your money goes. That must be Fred. AT&T. The more you hear, the better we sound.
The Year of the Street Hawk begins Friday, January 4th on ABC.
Run the Orange Bowl in Miami. That's the Dolphins' record. Not bad on Monday night. Not near the ratings, but not bad either. 8:55 remaining in the first quarter. No score. The Dolphins first down and 10. The ball inside their own 37-yard line. The Dolphins, a win tonight. They'll have home field advantage throughout the AFC playoffs. The Dallas Cowboys, a loss tonight. They go home and watch the playoffs. Dickerson picking up the tight end. Bruce Hardy covering him like a blanket. Anthony Dickerson, almost like a big safety man. He's 6'2" and 220 pounds and very agile, very quick. They can use him many ways in coverage.
He was a high school All-American halfback a few years ago.
That's not exactly true.
Well, they're just being nice to him. They say, we love you.
Players, of course, pulling for Miami to defeat the Cowboys, and then the Giants will be the wild card playoff game. Joe Carter, the rookie from Alabama, a good running back in there for Miami. Here comes Carter. Dexter Flinksville made the contact. Carter slipped loose, but he was covered quickly with the flow. Gain of about a yard and a half. It'll be third down, long yardage.
Those safeties make an awful lot of tackles. Dexter Klinkskill, you saw, didn't come up very quick. Michael Downs is the leading tackler on the team, but they expect a lot of those guys. The safeties to come up, they play them like linebackers a lot of times.
It's somewhat unusual for a safety to lead the team in tackles. Normally you have a linebacker with that statistic.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, though, Lyle Blackwood, the free safety for the Dolphins, is their second leading tackler. Don Shula, somebody asked him why. He said, just watch it play. Third down, long yardage from the shotgun. Marino with time. This will be picked off. Picked off by Ron Fellows. Stepped in front of the intended receiver. That was Mark Clayton. And the Cowboys get the first turnover of the game with 7:53 remaining in the first quarter.
Ron Fellows.
16th interception against this man as Ron Fellows stepped right in front of Clayton.
He really did play it, too, didn't he?
I was going to say, I was surprised Marino threw the ball because Ron Fellows has him covered like a blanket here. He's not open.
Yep, he knew right where it was. He slipped down a little bit, but Ron made a better move that time than did Mark Clayton.
Even if he hadn't have slipped, he would have waited for the ball.
So Dallas has an opportunity. They have the ball at Miami's 43-yard line. We'll be back. Ron Fellows took over that cornerback spot this season from Dennis Thurman. Good coverage. You saw it a moment ago. He gets the turnover, and up comes the Cowboys at the 43-yard line. First and 10 of Miami. Renfro in motion. Danny White looking for Tony Hill, and they'll mark it up close to a first down. I think he has the yardage for the first near the 32-yard line.
Tony Hill will go back to the huddle and tell Danny White, get it down, Danny, get it down.
No medicine balls, no medicine balls.
Those are rib ticklers.
Well, they're trying to mix them up, of course. It's one of those things they kind of expect them to run. You saw that was a play action fake. I expected them to really run, seriously run a little bit. Well, I think Dallas thinks that they can. Comment on the interception a moment ago and talking to some of the coaches before the game, they say, you know, particularly that guy, he says, I've never seen a quarterback like Marino who can throw the ball in so many places. It looks like he shouldn't, and his guys always come up catching it.
That's Don Strock with the cap on. He is, of course, a many-year veteran, has been around for 11 years, has had some great games in relief, first of Greasy, then of Woodley, and, of course, he has not had to relieve Marino this year. First down and 10. The Cowboys moving. Newsom over to the side, and Newsom finds an opening, and he gets up there for about 4 yards near the 27-yard line before Bowser makes the stop.
One advantage the Cowboys will have, because they have so many smaller offensive linemen, is that they should be quicker, and they should have a more versatile running game. Those guys can get outside on quick pitches and do, I guess, more exotic blocking combinations inside.
Second down and 5. Renfro will move in motion. Out to the right side. Up at the top of your screen is Tony Hill. Dorsett. Newsom tried to get the block on Bowser. He got into Bowser, but Bowser was able to move off the block, make the stop, and hold Dorsett to a couple of yards. It'll be third down and 3.
Well, on that play, I think it's the surface of this field that stopped Dorsett. He looked like he had gotten around Bowser, and he slipped as he tried to turn upfield. And I've noticed, thus far tonight, 3 or 4 players slipped. It rained here a little last night, rained here a little this morning.
The ball at the 26-yard line. Third down, long 3. Getting close to set the end field goal range. Keep in mind a prevailing wind and a strong gusty wind blowing right into the Cowboys. Danny White, Tony Hill.
Tony lost the first down.
It depends upon where they mark the progress, and they're going to mark it very close to a first down as Don McNeil moved up and hammered Tony Hill after the reception.
Tony Hill made a nice move on the first move. He realized he may be in danger of losing the first down. Then he was slung back at the second time, so I think they gave him the yardage after this first move. Now, this is the move right there. Now, this is not his fault at this point.
They got him back there, huh?
He was in the blender.
That looked to be one of those delayed audibles, too.
They bring out the yard marker. You'll watch as referee Pat Haggerty marks it off. We'd like to congratulate Washington on another division title yesterday, and also those Cardinals. They played so well.
Absolutely.
To the Steelers against the Raiders. To Denver against Seattle. Hard to play up there. And, of course, the Chicago Bears brought out one of the senior citizens, Greg Landry, for a win yesterday. And if I don't mind, even my Giants, who are all watching right now up in New York, as a Dallas victory tonight would knock them out of the playoffs. They, of course, pulling strongly for Miami to win tonight.
And let's not forget Art Monk with an all-time reception record.
Oh, yeah. Charlie Joyner during the season. Eric Dickerson on his great effort this year.
Who?
First down and 10.
Oh, what's his name?
White again.
Oh, no.
It'll be picked off. Taken in the end zone by Judson, and he's just flirting around back there. He knew better than to bring that out. Timmy Newsom was deep downfield. Danny White waffled one up there. Not a Cowboy that could even take it away from Judson. Let's watch.
Well, it appeared to me that I don't know where he's throwing that ball. I guess he's trying to hit Newsom over there in the side.
Yeah, but he certainly didn't read the coverage.
There.
So, turnabout, fair play. The Cowboys got the interception to set up a possible scoring drive, and now Miami gets the turnover. We'll be back in a moment. Early thrown ball by Danny White. Still no score, 4:48 remaining in the first quarter. First down and 10 Miami at their own 20-yard line. Marino once again. Hardy wide open, and Hardy over the 30 for a Miami first down near the 34-yard line in the arms of Dickerson. Dickerson trying to stay with Hardy once again all the way. They're covering the tight end with Dickerson, who is capable of doing that. That time Hardy just went right by him. And from Marino's point of view, you can see how wide open Hardy is. Dickerson in pursuit.
He's got to love that big 57, Dwight Stevenson, Pro Bowl center. You saw him kind of dancing around back in there and said, who's loose? Who's loose? I'll get you.
They'll be throwing the ball all night long to Hardy if they continue to cover him with the linebacker. They're trying to protect themselves on the corners, Duper and Clayton with double coverage. Inside handoff. Nathan, he does everything so well to the 40-yard line. Gain of 7, second down and 3. Jim Jeffcoat there defensively for Dallas.
Kind of one of those misdirection plays. They turned Randy White loose, which is dangerous for anybody's health. But Roy Foster, left guard there, going to be working against Randy White most of the evening. They let him go by, didn't block him, and Randy ran by it that time.
Roy Foster's had his work cut out for him today. He's number 61. This is his first year starting because of Bob Kuchenberg's injury, and he's an alternate in the Pro Bowl.
And he works tonight against Randy White. Bennett, right side. Good cutback inside of Everson Walls to get the Miami first down at the 45-yard line. Walls, a good tackler. That time Bennett broke back inside and gets the first down.
Well, they're changing his cleats because, as I mentioned, it rained here this morning. It rained last night. The surface of this field is somewhat slick, and they're putting longer cleats on his shoes. That's good. You'll have better traction, but it could be bad because you can get knee injuries if you plant too solidly and get hit.
A lot of defensive substitutions on first down. That's a little unusual for Dallas.
Clock moving, first quarter. 2:45 remaining, no score. First and 10, Miami near their own 45. Marino again with a lot of time and gets it to Tony Nathan. You saw him carrying the ball from a setback position a few moments ago. This time you see Nathan as a receiver, as Gene Lockhart is there to make the stop. 519 yards rushing into the night for this man, and 54 receptions, a typical Tony Nathan year.
Well, most of the ball, Marino's passes tonight should go to either a running back or the tight end, because what the Cowboys are doing are some kind of combination double teaming on the two outside men, Mark Clayton and Mark Duper, which is something I would think is smart to do.
Second down 4. The ball just into Dallas Cowboy territory. Bennett right side, trips up on his own man.
Made a good move.
Makes a good move, however.
Like they had
Close to Dallas's 45-yard line. That's 2 fine moves by Woody Bennett, leading rusher into the night. Of course, if you follow the Dolphins, you know that tragically they lost David Overstreet. They are all wearing black 20s on their helmet in memory of David Overstreet, who was just coming into his own a year ago. And then Andre Franklin, the leading rusher from a year ago, went down in the second game, lost due to knee surgery. So they have split the rushing chores between Woody Bennett and Tony Nathan. And Joe Carter, the rookie from Alabama, has started to come on. The third down very short.
Big Pete Johnson in the game, number 46.
Johnson came from San Diego, 4th game of the season. When Andre Franklin went down, gets the first down for Miami near the 43-yard line of the Dolphins. And we head to the final minute of the first quarter, in which the Cowboys have had to work against a very stiff breeze. No score.
That could be a real moral victory, as a matter of fact, for the Cowboys. Look at them coming in again. They're going to throw so many blitzes and stuff. They're trying to confuse Marino, but so far,
I think they're waiting till the play is signaled in, and then they change the defensive personnel.
nice little chess game going on.
Marino in trouble. Randy White covering Marino back in Miami territory inside their 45.
Oh, Marino's lucky. Fumbled the ball and fell right on it.
Now this year for Randy White, who once again goes to the Pro Bowl. He's something.
Big Randy working against Roy Foster, as we mentioned earlier.
Got him right under the chin, too, didn't he? Actually, he's got a new one in there.
Yeah, Jeff Taves is in there for Roy Foster. And now Foster.
And watch that ball.
Foster's back in there now.
Randy's just such an outstanding football player. He opens up a lot of other things for some of the other guys, particularly Jeff Coates.
Second down, 18. Carter, 23, is the setback, and they'll try hit the left side. Carter, good running, and Carter gets out of the arms of Michael Downs, stepping out of bounds, back close to the original line of scrimmage at the 43-yard line.
Cowboys got to be a little upset with poor tackling, too, Frank. It was a good run, but they had some guys there in position to make that tackle. Downs was one. Bates was one. Jeff Coates was in that area. Made a good move, though, to bounce off of him.
They mark it inside the 43, so it'll be third down and 9. The 4-0 defense comes on for Dallas. They will blitz Bill Bates, who is going to the Pro Bowl as a free agent a year ago, Pro Bowl this year. They love him in Dallas. Plays like a linebacker. That's him, number 40.
Special teams, he made the Pro Bowl on.
Here comes the blitz. Marino reads it, gets the ball to Duper, and Duper held short of the first down inside the 35 as the gun sounds ending the first quarter. And if they're thinking field goal, the Miami Dolphins, now Uwe von Schamann, having a poor year, will be kicking against that breeze. Uwe von Schamann came on. He has not made an attempt at a field goal in the past 3 games. His longest field goal of the season is 37 yards. And then Don Shula had second thoughts at 4th down and 2, and he sent the offensive unit back out onto the field. So they will go on 4th down. And they will also go with what they count on the most. This offensive team, they will go with the pass. At least they set up in the shotgun. 4th down, and it's a long 2. And Moore open. He broke open and he tossed up the ball, and Ron Fellows has it again. And then he drops the ball. But Dallas is there to cover, I do believe. Yes.
There was a flag, but I think it's the offensive line. I saw movement, I thought, by the offensive line.
It was 4th down and 2.
Did he fumble that?
Moore, I I don't think he had control of it. It popped loose and came into the arms of Ron Fellows. And let's get it sorted out. Here is referee Pat Haggerty.
Here comes Pat.
Illegal motion, offense, decline, first down.
So we will take a look at that again. We'll look at it at the reverse angle, why we have the camera over there in the first place. You'll see number 89 coming across the middle. He's wide open. He never had control of it.
No,
He's hit hard by Bates. Fellows picks it up. And it is Fellows' second turnover now. He'll be hit by Jim Jensen, I believe. Here he comes, number 11. Multi-talented.
and he knocked it out.
And he sweeps it out of the arms, but the Cowboys cover. They have a first down. They have the wind. They're inside the 40-yard line. Danny White fires to Tony Dorsett. He's out of the 45, near the 46, a gain of 6. It'll be second down and 4. Mark Brown being the stop for Miami.
Talking to some of the coaches for the Cowboys before the game, and I thought they were teasing me, but maybe they're not. They said for the first time, we've been talking about all week, when they throw the ball and they catch the ball, we're going to have one guy to try to knock the ball out of their hands. We were talking about that earlier in the year, and that's what it looked like that time. Batesman had put his head right on that ball.
Second down, 4. Still no score. Early moments, second quarter. Dorsett tries to sweep outside, and Judson makes a fine tackle at the line of scrimmage.
Well, if Doug Donnelly, number 83, would have made a block on Judson, that play was well developed. Dorsett would have had a lot of running room. As you'll see, way on your outside, on the right side of your screen, that number 83 is trying to make a block. He doesn't make the block. Judson defeats him, comes up and makes a fine tackle on Tony Dorsett.
4-0 defense, anticipating pass, and again, Miami bringing in their defensive specialists now. Their pass prevent defense, they brought them in like Dallas, very late. Listen to the crowd. Danny White gets away from Bocamper, stumbles, gets away again, and he is really hammered. Danny White, slow, getting up. He got away from Bocamper initially, and then he really got hit.
He had
A.J. Douay was there, and that will be fourth down. And this is the defense Dolphin fans have been questioning and wondering about. The Killer Bees are back, at least on this series.
the Killer Bees. Fetters, Baumhauer, Bocamper, Brzezinski, Brophy, Brown, Bowser, Blackwood. I'm telling you, that's a bunch of bees.
There's Fulton Walker and Danny White. Shaken. He'll stay in, however, and he will do the punting. Danny White has on occasion run the football. I don't think we'll look for it on this one.
What a nice kick, though.
And takes a Miami bound into the end zone for the touchback. So Miami will have their football back at the 20-yard line following a 54-yard punt into the end zone by Danny White. Will be in total jeopardy because Marino has tied the record set by Danny Fouts back in 1981 of 4,802 yards. He'll exceed that considerably, barring something unforeseen tonight. And, of course, there are other records to come. He's thrown for 400 yards 4 times this season.
That's an amazing stat for me.
First down and 10, Miami at the 20-yard line. Nathan for a couple of yards. It'll be second down and 8. ABC's Wide World of Sports this Saturday, 1984, the year in review. ABC's Wide World of Sports will be moving to its new time period. Now, that'll be 4:30 Eastern and Pacific, 3:30 Central. We'll take a look back at the dramatic and very emotional year in the sporting world from Sarajevo to Los Angeles, from the Kentucky Derby to the Indianapolis 500. You can share it all in a special 2-hour presentation this Saturday with us on ABC's Wide World of Sports. Again, a special time, 4:30 Eastern Pacific, 3:30 Central. Second down and 8, Miami. Joe Carter, single setback. That was intended to be a fake reverse, and forget it. Deep penetration.
Clean scale.
Took away all the fake. Jim Jeffcoat was in there. So, too, was Big John Dutton. Jim Jeffcoat really has come on in the last few weeks. #1 draft pick a year ago from Arizona State. Loss of 3. It'll be third down 13 as we look at the numbers from the first quarter, and you would expect two
0-0
offensive teams. Certainly Miami to put something on the scoreboard. If you have just joined us, such is not the case in a game that means everything to Dallas. If they lose tonight, they'll watch the playoffs at home, and the Giants will become an NFC wild card. The Dolphins, they think it's very important to have the home field advantage throughout the playoffs. If they win tonight, they'll have it.
Look out, Danny.
Marino, and wide open downfield is Nat Moore.
What a catch by Nat. He was tagged, wasn't he? Michael Downs, I believe, was the guy that hit him. Not for sure.
I don't know whether you happened to see that shot that Nat Moore took against the Jets a few weeks ago when they spun him like a propeller. He'll hold on to the football, this 11-year veteran. We'll look at it wide, and you'll see Nat Moore circling from a wingback position. He's wide open in front of Michael Downs.
Yeah, actually, he was working against Everson Walls. Everson tried to bump him at the line of scrimmage, and Everson fell down, and that left Nat Moore wide open.
Good job by Marino, too, because Marino...
They're going to stop the game now. Marino handed the game ball, at least the first game ball he'll get tonight, by referee Pat Haggerty. He has broken the single-season yardage record set by Dan Fouts back in 1981. Marino now at 4,853 yards, and he is closing on, well, what could have seemed the impossible a few years ago. He could even become tonight the first passer ever to pass for 5,000 yards. That's a lot of miles.
A little poetic justice that Nat Moore was the guy that caught it. He's the leading all-time receiver for Miami.
And near the 39-yard line, the Dolphins will put it in play. First and 10. Looking deep. Michael Downs was running stride for stride with Duper. Fellows back there also. But it was Michael Downs who made the play on the ball.
I've got a feeling that's the kind of pass that Coach Landry was talking about before the game that Marino will just throw anyway. Now, he had Duper looked like he was open, but down they were in a zone. So all he had to do is play that center field and come over and cover it. He had a better chance, or certainly as good a chance to catch it as did the Dolphin receiver.
Well, what they're doing is spreading out this Cowboy defense. I noticed on that play that Dan Johnson had defeated Mike Hickman coming across the middle, and I think they're just opening up these Cowboys.
Second and long. The Cowboys love to blitz. They love to bring everyone on second and long. Tom Landry always has. They play it straight. Nathan over the left side, and they will stay in passing yardage situation.
Good recognition by Lockhart.
Down and 7.
Lockhart, the young middle linebacker for Dallas, and Jeffco, Jim Jeffco, both good recognition, came back in, filled the hole.
The Cowboys have had 25 sacks over the past 3 games. A lot of that a tribute to one of the great Hall of Famers, Ernie Stoutner, Don, who's taken over much of the defensive duties that he has been sharing.
He really has. Talk about it again just in a moment, but he has done some new things there, and they've paid off for him the last few weeks.
Dallas in their 4-0 defense. Here it comes, and Marino reads it. And almost taking the ball from Clayton was Ron Fellows. He's already had 1 interception. Now, I'll tell you, when that kind of blitz is on, Fellows has got to be full of butterflies in the stomach because he knows he has no help from anyone.
Mark Clayton made a heck of a play here to get this ball away from Fellows, who caught it right there, but look at Clayton come through and strip it.
Meanwhile, there's a flag in the backfield.
And could have been roughing the passer back there. Here's Pat Haggerty.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer, number 40. Defense. First down.
Did not see it. Bill Bates